Welcome to Let's Play Rule the Waves 3 as Germany starting in 1939. This is episode 36. It's February 1947 and we are part 2 of a battle off the coasts of the Faroe Isles, the Shetland Isles and the Orkney Isles, north of Britain and east of Norway. We only have a couple of hours of daylight left. This is March and short days are still in effect. The sea state has worsened, so currently we are down to only 20 knots. Yeah, 20 knots from 22. So it's possible that pretty quickly the sea will have worsened to the point where there are no air operations available, which is really testing because the reported carrier group down here is just short of 300 miles away, and we need it to be about 250 nautical miles away in order to launch an escorted strike. We could go unescorted, but that could be decimated by the cap above these carriers. So I'm just going to push it along a little bit and see if we can't shave off those miles quickly. Now, unfortunately, the carriers are going in sort of the wrong direction. Let's see, zoom in, whether they're having to do local air operations. So as you can see, yeah, because of the cap and stuff like that, they're heading north, which is undesirable, but understandable because that's the direction. The wind direction is from the northwest. If I try and persuade them to go in a different direction, yep, they still like going their own sweet way. Now, I guess we just have to let them do their business. Engine damage because of trying to go through the storm waters. Let's have a look at the battle cruisers here. Now, they are currently 175 miles away, whereas the carriers are now 301 miles away. So definitely not going the right direction. If there were no air operations, actually, let me just put myself up into this corner for you. Then, you know, it would be a simpler operation because I would know these battle cruisers are safe. But currently it's only float planes that are not allowed. And we have really no more other than from that original point. Destroyers are really struggling in this weather. Now, I did say probably in the last episode, I hope it's not going to turn out to be one of those battles. It might turn out to be one of those battles because I can't, in all good conscience, put my battle cruisers into too much danger. I still only have the one sighting. This one up here is a couple of destroyers. I'm getting closer and closer to the Royal Navy's principal fleet base, whilst at the same time, these carriers are just doing their own thing up here. Why can't I select these? And they are now 303 miles away. Let me just go here. I mean, I do have it on patrol. If I have it on support and support, yes, so I can't send it towards the battle cruisers, although I can provide cap to the battle cruisers. So yeah, it just looks like the carriers and the battle cruisers are going to get further and further away. See, again, it's okay, swinging down. Let's just see. Oh, unknown radar contact. Hello. Let's see what that's about. Right. So these are down here. Have we found the British battle cruisers, which have so far gone completely unrecorded? Tricky. Okay, so first thing is to take off these guys. I'm going to make them independent and we're going to make them into line ahead so that they start to organize themselves properly. Now, there's not really going to be a lot of time, and by a lot of time, I mean 50 minutes before dusk. Yeah, so this really isn't shaping up. So I'm definitely turning the battle cruisers to the southeast, as well as the Scharnhorst and Gneisenauer, as well as the Lutzow. We have a little look at the weather. Right, it is now speed limited to 18 knots and weather limits air operations, not merely seaplane operations. So I want to get these guys to go that direction. Whether they will or not, who knows? And then prepare ourselves for a potential night action against these unidentified ships. But that says it's a CV. I mean, that would be exciting. Okay, let's head towards these guys as if the CV thing were true. An optimistic assumption, I know, but until that's in some way ignored, yeah, still no more reports. Okay, the CV has become a CA. I mean, that's easy to mistake. I mean, all right, they are on radar, so we'll turn them back on their original courses and see. Bring this out so you can read these messages. I've set the 3 supporting destroyer divisions to be in support instead of screen, and in line ahead instead of obviously screen as well. So there's quite a few ships here, and a couple of them are big-ish, though they're claiming to be light cruisers and heavy cruisers, but I'm, personally doubting that. So there are 4 big-ish ships, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 smaller ships. So hopefully we will be in sighting range pretty quickly. So they're shooting away, given that they actually haven't got a visual sighting, they're having just under 3% accuracy on target. That's not too bad. That's not too bad at all. Not seeing any hits. Let's see about the Scharnhorst. It's a bit too far away for the Scharnhorst, although the Gneisenauer behind it is shooting. So let's just see if we can cap their T a little bit. Yeah. Just coming within visual range. Yep. Almost. And we've got a hit from a 15-inch gun on the light cruiser, allegedly. So these look like destroyers. Don't know what these are. Our destroyers have already loosed some torpedoes off, so that's something to bear in mind. I'm going to wing the Scharnhorst to a straighter direction. They claim to be going 25 knots, whereas in fact they're going 18. So this now is an Anson-class battleship. That, I believe, is more like it. So forward-facing, so good to get to the rear of it. 8 16-inch guns, 12-inch belts, 13-inch turrets, all fairly straightforward and normal. So I wonder if the one behind it is an Anson as well. So let's see if we can't get these battle cruisers to cut behind. I'm going to check on where the Lutzow is. The Lutzow is over here. I'm just going to make that go a little bit closer as well. So this will be really bringing the range in to 15,000. I'm probably only at, under 10,000 for the Scharnhorst and the Gneisenau. I think I want to turn them away because it's getting a bit hot, and I'll turn them away together. And Enemy approaching 3 Lenin. So that's... We've been detected by air, and despite the limits on air operations, that doesn't seem to be bothering them particularly. Wow. Okay. So there are 2 Ansons now, and one of them's been hit by a torpedo. Well done. So let's see if we can get any information onto which of these 2 has taken the hit. That's weird. The usual little bubble over isn't appearing. I'm going to say that it's probably the forward one. I'm just going to zoom out. All right. So these guys probably need to be heading towards Bergen. If they can do that, that would be great. And dusk is coming. So let's have a look at these. I'm going to take them off manual and see if we just can't encourage them to come along and join the party. So let's just do this. Now, the night sighting range, which is going to come soon, is only 2,800. But obviously the radar range will be a lot bigger than that. And it will be, I think, looking to see if one of these Ansons has its speed decreased and then bringing in the destroyers. So I'm going to take the battle cruisers and swing them sharply round and just increase the range a little bit. I'm going to take the Scharnhorst and Gneisenauer and let their range settle out. And again, for the Lutzow, let them just push back slightly so that most of the gunnery will be done by radar, because it's just getting a little bit too tight. And if we have a look at the time, yeah, nighttime is in 5 minutes. So let's take that and swing them sharply round. Ditto for the Lutzow, and just straighten these guys out a bit. The sea state is still limited to 18 knots, so still very stormy. And so this says 10 knots, and this says 15 knots. So neither of them are super aircraft approaching one of our torpedo divisions. Oh, that's fine. Obviously, the destroyers are going to struggle mightily in this high stormy seas. Ooh, I didn't notice, but the Stauffenberg seems to have taken some sort of hits. So let's take them out of action and see what's happened. Okay, well, that's the Von der Tann. That's fine, but yes, what's happened to the Stauffenberg? 17 heavy hits. Wow. And all of its guns are out of action. That's a shame, because its captain, although below average, is a gunnery expert. Okay. So we want them, and they're only doing 11 knots at the moment. So we want them out. In fact, that might be a hint for the whole force. Yeah, we've damaged them, but they've damaged us. So now we're going to enjoy nighttime coming along. And there we go. So instantly this goes from a battleship to a allegedly light cruiser. I'm still going to go after that with the destroyers. Lutzow should probably be doing cruise speed as well. And Scharnhorst, well, we can't help that. Let's just see if the Stauffenberg, okay, it's gone up to 12. We've got 35 flooding. So now we're in a bit more of a protected space. I think we want to take the both of these actually down to, say, 5 knots. That's going to go automatic soon. That's reappeared as a battleship. If we can cross its T, that would be great. If we can look at our torpedoes, plenty of torpedoes. Current range is 6,000. So we just need a decent fire solution against the Anson-class battleship. Just have a look at their Stauffenberg. So speed's gone to 19 knots, so one better. Oh, look, flooding, it's gone down to 3, so that's great news. And its theoretical speed is 23, so we'll just give it a few more minutes at that and hope that that sorts out the flooding. Okay. So unfortunately, these have gone past their command limit and have decided to go back. Yeah, I suppose I could set it to independent, but I doubt that I could get the the AI control back again. So we'll go back to support. Check out the Stauffenberg. Yeah, still at 3. Yeah, it's funny, I completely missed the Stauffenberg taking a pasting. We'll have to look back at that later. So that looks like it's going to be it. If I zoom out, I just want to confirm that these guys still, yeah, they do look like they are. Well, no, they don't. Let's go that way. And let's move it on 9 minutes at a time. Let's just zoom in here. Still shooting each other. Still getting radar returns. But obviously with the Stauffenberg's turrets all completely, I mean, on the turn it's fine. Just a couple of heavy hits, hasn't bothered it in the slightest. The poor old Stauffenberg. Yeah, absolutely. Let's have a little look at these log entries and see if we can see what's happened, because it's been over a short time. So, so hits. So turret A was disabled in pretty much first couple of minutes. Hit on turret B, superstructure hits, deck extender with splinters, more splinters. So these are all, so it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 hits, 7 hits, 8 hits, 9, 10, 11. 11 hits within 10 minutes. I mean, that, you know, that's not going to be helpful, is it? Oh, yeah. And yeah, that certainly is all radar directed. Not worried about that. A hull hits. More hull. More hull. Superstructure pass through. Critical hits. Electric power. Another one on B. Critical hit. fire control damage. More hull. A. Electric power restored. Hooray. And a limits flooding. So yeah, it's got knocked about a bit, quite a lot. I don't know if, and this CA isn't a CA, it's a Anson, although we've just hit it. Well, just by one of our heavy cruisers. And yep, there it goes. So I'm just zooming out and heading towards Bergen. Air operations still limited. It's a shame, you know, this was all shaping up so promisingly, but we completely failed to spot this gunnery strike group. We only had one report on the carriers, and that was too far away to really affect or to launch a successful strike without taking, you know, great risks. So have a look at the Staffenburg. Yep, still flooding. Speed's 23. I feel like I need to speed up a bit because we are only 9,000 yards. So I'm going to take it up to 18 and see what that does. And equally, I'm going to take it down in order the Von der Tan's guns have their arcs opened up. I wonder actually if I can, I can detach. That would be a better thing. And send it that way, because it's just a moving target at the moment. And the Scharnhorst, they're too far away. Let's make them a scout, shall we, and see if that encourages them to go to the front. And I wonder if these destroyers, nope. Or these destroyers, yes. So we can get them to go to independent, line ahead, and see if they will whiz around. So some destroyers here have launched some stuff against the Anson. And then I want the Von der Tan to swing around. I know it spoils its aim, just as the Scharnhorst and the Gneisenau are swinging around. And swing back again. Just check how Staffenburg is doing. Flooding is down to 1, and we're currently at 15 knots. Again, see if we can disengage. Just go to them. Can't control them at all. And yeah, keep it going at this kind of speed. And get them to disengage. That'd be fine. So a patrol bomber from Stavanger launched missiles at an enemy destroyer. Unsighted warship hit by a missile. And another. I mean, sadly, probably a destroyer, but what can you do? Just going to check out on what's happening to the carriers. In particular, yeah, so they're still heading towards Bergen, is fine. Here's the Von der Turn. And here's Stauffenberg. Flooding 0. That's what I like to hear. And one of our rear turrets has been repaired, which is also what I like to hear. Okay. Like a few misunderstood signals. I'm just going to check some of these assignments for destroyers and stuff and put it back into a fleet screening mode. Okay, hopefully that will encourage them to sort each other out. I've slowed down the Von der Tan to 14 to give these ships a bit of an edge, because otherwise with the weather limiting speed to 18 knots, they would never get back into position. So you have to slow down for them a bit. And yeah, let's push that on a faster speed, because I think that's probably it. So yeah, sorry a bit. I feel like I've led you up the garden path and then it went nowhere. But yeah, weather limits, air operations. So not much fun. So just slowly coming back. So there is some cap activity. Shipping water in heavy seas. Okay. Let's bring the whole force down to, say, 12 knots. And let it carry on. So there's a carrier with destroyers. Oh, that is tempting, isn't it? If we look, this was our original sighting. And then this is a second sighting. And then this is a third sighting. So, you know, really quite close to us. A CV and 8 destroyers. If we have a look at the time, it's 8 hours till dawn. Dare we try and have a go at them? So we are something like 61 miles away. I mean, yeah, you've got to really, haven't you? Let's come back and see if we can engage at all. It's tricky. I mean, we do have a lot of ammo, but now the speed's only 16 knots. So I would love to. Oh, go on. What's the worst that can happen? Shh. Let's not discuss that. There's 16 knots. Let's just push that up. Oh, they're taking heavy weather. Okay. I'm going to send them back reluctantly. I don't want to be gratuitously losing destroyers and what have you, just because it's so stormy, and go chasing at high speed but only 16 knots. Yeah, they're all taking heavy weather damage. So let's get them back. Let's get them safe and home back to Bergen. And there we have no opposing ships in sight of each other. So unsatisfactory. Well, we torpedoed a light cruiser. That's all right. So yeah, let's have a little close look here. So medium damage on ours. I'm surprised it's only medium, given all 3 turrets were out and flooding damage and like 17 hits or something like that. Light damage on the Von der Tann, obviously. One destroyer sunk because of the weather, foundering in heavy seas. Ooh, look at that. One heavy damage, one medium. I mean, as I say, if Stauffenberg was medium with all of its turrets out of action, heaven knows what their medium damage was. I will remember to have a look in a moment. So it's a German victory, surprisingly. Not many air losses for obvious reasons. Let's have a view of the ship details. Let's just bring that in here. And the Indomitable. So half its ammunition used, 9 hits, 9 heavy, 31 medium. So well done, Scharnhorst, Gneisenau, and Lutzow. 14 lights, no bombs, no missiles, no torpedo. If we have a look here, yeah, quite an extensive range. It did have its machinery disabled by Lutzow at one point, so well done for that. And yeah. If we look at the ships hitting, Gneisenau, Scharnhorst, Gneisenau, Stauffenberg, Gneisenau, Scharnhorst, Von der Tann, etc. So actually the armored cruisers, they did a pretty good job, extensively peppering the ship, the Indomitable, all the way through. Managed to limit its flooding in the end. And then if we have a look at Inflexible, which had slightly more damage, 16,000 to 15,000 compared to the Graf Stauffenberg, scored 17 hits itself. The Indomitable only scored 9 hits. Received 9 heavy, 4 medium. So that difference, 4 medium compared to 31 medium for the Indomitable, really made the difference. But nonetheless, those 9 hits were obviously pretty telling. Turrets are all fine. So, yeah, lots of punishment from the Stauffenberg. Oops. And then later from the Von der Tann, presumably when the Stauffenberg was hit. Okay, so much punishment there. Let's have a look at the Bosch Stauffenberg. And in the end, it got A and Y turrets back into action. So well done for that. Oh, and indeed B. So yeah, they did manage to repair as well as limit its flooding. So here's a case of the damage control expertise doctrine that I've had for Germany being applied, really working out well. So well done for that. And then, yeah, this poor Z67 getting sunk for flooding. So, right, it did take a bomb hit and then flooding and then a mixture of evading air attacks and then shipping water in heavy seas, blah, 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 and off it goes. Sad end. So that's all of that. And let's have a little look at the map. What the heck happened here? Let's do the force flagships. So there was our carriers and our battle cruisers. The carriers kind of squiggled around and then headed for Bergen once the weather got too thick. We headed towards the enemy and then headed to Bergen again. Their carrier force advanced quite far, and ditto their gun force, arriving in pretty much the same place, so far as I can tell. Go back to view results and just check. Yeah, they had 5 carriers and 4 light carriers, so They weren't too bad at all. So, it's a minor victory. I'm sort of surprised, but happy with that. I'm going to say that's the Shetland Islands instead. Blockades causing food shortages and privations in Germany. Boo. Unrest is still at 6. 4 more submarines. Modern lightweight materials. More good stuff for submarines. 4-inch auto-loaded dual-purpose gun being developed. All right. The Feislers developed an improved model of its light jet fighter. So, but it's okay. So improved range from 276 to 333. That's very handy. Slightly better firepower. So yeah, improved range is fine. That's handy. Thank you very much for that. As has Herschel. Slightly improved speed for Herschel, but otherwise a very modest improvement. Let's see if those jet fighters can arrive in squadron service. So we've lost a coastal submarine and another, and we've hit a mine, and the British cruiser hit a mine, and then for our trade warfare summary, we've sunk 26 merchants. They sank 2. They lost a submarine. We lost a submarine, and they're blockading us. So that's gone pretty well for submarines lost. The merchant ships sunk is a bit at the lower end. But okay. Do that. Yep, food shortages. Bit of a pain. I mean, it's only after 2 months of war. Let's not be princesses about the whole thing. And various stuff here. Right. Light jet fighter squadron. All right. It's prioritized the air bases. So I put some in the air bases, land-based air bases. All right, and it has done the carriers as well. Right. So that's all going on. Okay, cool. War has broken out between France and Germany. Well, surprise, surprise, surprise. Yeah, well, that seems like an excellent note on which to end things. Disappointing battle, but another little notch. Oh yeah, unrest has gone to 7 now. Monthly balance has gone down to minus 7,000, so that's pretty good actually. If we have a look at the repairs, these are all coming along that are being refitted, and then here we've got the destroyer Scharnhorst in for 2 months. Yeah, the Reichsgraf has returned. The Von Thun is fine. The Gneisenau for a month. The Stauffenberg and the Graf Spee is in for a month as well. So should be interesting times for month 4 of our war with Britain and now France. So thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you for the next turn and no doubt the next wintry battle as well.